Hello, welcome to Local Rock Talk. And before I start doing interview with the band Shadowlynx, I just want to moments of silence for Mr. Green, Aiken Grandpa, because he passed away on Sunday. So keep the Green's family in your prayers and your thoughts. All right, let's give a moment of silence. Okay. Aiken Grandpa, rest in peace, brother. Love ya.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Okay. I'm your host, Pausa. And we have a band called Shadowlynx.
Hey, what's going
hey,
on?
hey,
How
how you doing?
What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Well, welcome. So I have some questions for you guys. So let's get this party going.
Let's do it.
Okay. How did your band start?
Can we take this one?
Take it away, bud.
All right, well, I was in a Iron Maiden tribute band, and Sean was in an original band, many years ago, and we played a few shows together. And I got to know Sean pretty well, asked him if he would record with me because I had a lot of songs that I'd written all the music for. Was hoping to find someone that could really, kick ass on the vocals for me. And Sean was a perfect fit. He agreed to do so, and we recorded some songs together, and he really liked them, decided to post them. To my chagrin, shall we say, I was like, what are you doing? But people liked them. And so when people started liking the songs, we decided to actually put a band together so we could play some of these songs live. And it really was, the birth of the band. And then we, called up some friends that we knew, guys sitting here behind us. We got, Keith, John, and Christian. And some of the best musicians I've ever worked with. They're great friends of mine. And decided to, see if we can make it work. And it's really worked out.
Didn't we have somebody in mind before we got him? Or did we have both of them in mind, Keith and John?
Keith and John were in mind from day one.
From day one.
And Christian, obviously, is a friend of Keith's.
Keith's.
And we had a different drummer in the beginning. We had some problems finding a drummer.
Quite a few of them.
And thank God.
Yeah, Christian and I have been playing together throughout, 9 or 10 years now. And been together. We've known each other for a long time, but we've been playing together for about 9, 10 years. And when Jack contacted me, I said, that I think Christian fit the bill when our drummer didn't show up. So
Again.
Playing covers straight through with Iron Maiden and what else? Foo Fighters, Black Sabbath.
There's
a lot of good
we're
songs.
doing a lot
Yeah.
of cover stuff, yeah. And then so it was different for Christian to come in and play some originals, but he's really fit the bill. He's really brought a lot to the music.
He brings a whole new flavor to the band.
The progressive
What was your take?
The progressive drumming.
What was your take when you first started, actually playing
The
what we
first
do?
time I played with you guys in Jack's attic,
Sure.
or jam room. Attic sounds
Best
weird.
jam room, actually.
We have a jam room that looks like a
Studio,
club.
Jack's studio.
Okay.
Yeah. It was surreal.
Jack's
It was
studio.
I really didn't think I was capable, and I tried my hardest to, fulfill some of the where you guys wanted to go and where it was going. It was awesome, and you guys gave me the thumbs up and kind of just.
He took
went
the
from there.
challenge. He really did.
He showed up ready to play.
He really was. He was ready to play, and he was ready to play stuff that he wasn't familiar with.
He killed it.
And he
But
nailed it.
again, that goes a lot with what he played, in the past. It was, a variety of, music styles, that really grasped. He wasn't just one style of drummer, and it actually brought a lot to our music.
Yeah.
It really throws a bit different dimension to power metal, as a, in the classical sense of power metal. You know what I mean? 'Cause there's that progressive drumming style.
Well, thank you guys.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you, man.
more than welcome. It's
Yeah.
funny
Rock on.
too, Keith too. Keith has been doing a lot more solos. And if I can get away with saying more emotional, almost bluesy type soloing. And he, from what I've known, he's done a lot of thrash roots. So him opening up to what's inside him and still mixing it into playing with when we write strong rhythms, and he's ready to be right there. Some of our newer material, as I mention all the time, really is going to show the more versatility you've ever heard from this band, from all of us.
Right.
It's challenging all of us, and it's not challenging us in a point or even in a state of mind where we're getting aggravated. We're getting hungry. We're really, really getting hungry. We're growing, and again, I can't emphasize enough that
Growing and expanding.
big time, and we're becoming better musicians and friends and musicians together, which is the number one thing. Together,
Yep.
Forge.
And support local music scene.
Oh, absolutely.
we do.
That too, yeah.
Yep.
We do. We support all kinds of bands that we've played with that show the respect of that given moment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's very important. That's the best advice I can give anybody that's in a band or a local band or anything. Make sure that you're aware of who you're playing with and who's respecting you, if that's what you're looking for, because there's always good and bad in everything. But we like to think positive. We have no problem supporting other bands. But and they don't have to be metal bands, because there's a lot of different bands that are not metal bands, and there's not many. As far as I know, not many true power metal bands. There's a few of them.
There's a decent amount, but not a lot that are playing out regularly that you can really get good gigs with at one time, we'll say.
Yeah.
Musicians are a different breed anyway. No matter what genre, they all seem to be really hungry at what they do. And most of the people that we come across, most of the bands, they're very professional, and they try to do their art from their heart. And that's good to see. You can tell, if a band has grown to a potential where they're playing from what's inside instead of trying to write songs from bits and pieces of cover songs or something that they've learned. People, they get more seasoned when they play. And you can hear that in a band. And that's one of the things that we're really opening up with the last few songs we've written for the new album. It's really a glimpse inside of us being our own players, instead of, hey, we need to be a metal band that's playing in this genre. We're opening things up a little more.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. It's true.
All right.
People expect you to sound like a certain
Yeah.
amount. You're like, wow, you guys sound like Maiden, you guys sound like Halloween, you guys sound like Girly Queens, right?
We-
Oh, if you get all that and you hear all that, all the power to you. We love all that stuff, you sound like early Metallica in some of the music. But, just like John said, we don't go out to try to sound like those bands. This is just the influences that come out, as John said, in our hearts. So when I sing,
Yeah, we're definitely influenced.
just how I feel.
We're
Yeah.
a metal band, absolutely.
Yeah.
But but if we are jamming or something and we decide, oh hey, that acoustic part sounded really good. Well, let's see if we can't work that in here, or hey, this part's really good. Yeah, keyboards, adding keyboard to a certain section.
Yeah.
If we're jamming and somebody hears something in their head, then we stop and we entertain the idea. And okay, well, what are you thinking? And we toss that stuff back and forth, and it's working well for us. This next round of songs is going to be really good.
We're definitely all open-minded as well, so that goes a lot to it too, because we're not saying, not one is just saying, shooting down an idea, and saying this is my idea. So we're all open to each other's ideas, and because we all come from a different background, but metal is definitely that core to what we, from where we play. But we've been categorized by so many different bands, Black Sabbath to Iron Maiden to
Zeppelin, to Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. Well, more questions for you guys.
Sure.
What other bands have you played with?
Local or international or national?
In general.
Well, local and natural, so.
You take this one.
Yeah.
I mean, we've played with a lot of different bands. So.
Oh my God, I have. I mean,
Well, number one, we played with Fates Warning.
we played with
Fates
Fates Warning.
is a big one.
You know, so and that was one of the bigger bands that we've played with in Shadowlynx. Throughout the group of us, we've played with everyone from, you know, Anthrax to Halloween to everyone else.
Bad Guy.
Overkill. Overkill, right? But you know, with this lineup with our band, we've played with mostly local acts,
Yeah.
but some great local acts.
Yeah.
You know,
Ravage.
Ravage. We played with Devious Intentions. We've, you know,
Leaving Eden.
Yep, I have them on my show.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, Simple Complex.
Simple Complex.
Simple,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bloody
and-
Kisses.
Yeah.
Yep, Bloody
Yeah.
Kisses.
We
Except
played
when
with
I
Simple
covered
Complex a
them.
number of times.
Yep, we played with Beast Over Boston.
Be Silver
We played
Boston.
with
Calumet.
Calumet, Night Owl. We played with Naria,
Candy Stripper, Death Orgy.
Candy Striper,
Yeah.
Death
Oh yeah.
Orgy.
CSTL. Yeah.
Um,
What's the other one? Ice
Other-
Giants.
Ice Giant,
You know,
yes.
Reckless Force. Is that how you say it?
Reckless Force,
Reckless
yeah.
Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lone
Played with
Wolf
them when they
James.
started open. Yeah. Lone Wolf.
4x4 Barracuda.
4x4 Barracuda.
Yeah.
And we've played a lot of shows, so I don't want to miss anyone. I hope we didn't miss anyone
I know.
important,
Forgive
you
us
know.
if we missed,
We
your
played with
name.
Ethan Brosh Band.
Yep.
Ethan Brosh. Yeah.
And,
I got to tell you, this guy right here is one of the best internet networkers I've ever seen.
Thanks, John.
You know, there's promotion's tough. It's really hard business, and a lot of people. It's hard to get the door open, but Bushy here is absolutely fantastic as far as just getting hold of people and getting them to open up and communicate, and that's definitely an asset to the band. And I don't think I ever tell you enough of that, man. I really appreciate it. He does a lot of
Hell yeah.
our grunt work.
Well, it's really important to be able to pull things out of yourself from what's inside of you as deep as possible. Being a musician, you could quit for years, just not play, just whatever, and there's going to be a piece of you missing. And hands down, I couldn't say this enough. These 5 guys all together have actually made me and the music that I've always wanted to play complete for the first time in all the experiences that I've ever had. It feels right and it feels full. Like right after you're starving and you're working all day and you're hungry, you want to go home and have a big meal. That's how it feels after we're done like a practice and we wrote a new song or something, to that effect. Because I know that I got a helping from each one of them. I don't, that's the way I can describe it. Shadowlynx is a band, but they're, as my mother likes to put it, a band of brothers, and we've grown that way. We care about each other,
Right.
but doing that is powerful. It's very powerful. Like he said earlier, everybody has a say. Everybody, I've thrown suggestions even to Christian, and I don't play drums, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they're ridiculous. But it's just what I heard.
And we'll we will
entertain
try it. We'll entertain it. We will
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah.
Whatever you hear in your head, we'll stop. Let's take,
give it a shot.
let's take 5 minutes and work that in and see if it gels with the song. If it's a good idea, we keep it.
And if it doesn't,
And then if it doesn't,
Yeah, no hard feelings. We're all
sure,
good.
absolutely.
The backbone of this
Simon,
band,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
the one of the major backbones of this band, and I hope people recognize this with the CD and Forged as One. Obviously, everybody can figure out what that means. Forged
As
as one.
Right.
That CD and our new material is gonna reflect a unit.
Right.
you know, and that's very, very important. People have a lot of different input every time we practice and write new material. Every single one of them has had more and more input, and they've come out of their shell, so to speak. All of us have. But the backbone of this band is, one of the signature sounds is the backup vocals, and every single one of them sings.
But
And some of them weren't singers. They told me straight to my
They
face.
are now.
And now they
Something
can't
we
stop.
definitely work on. Yeah.
And now they
We
can't
spend
stop.
A lot of time working on making sure everybody sings.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's an important
yeah,
piece
I
of
listened to the CD and it sounds awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
There's
all
your
this
recording
guy-
engineer.
Yeah.
Right.
No, not me.
So
John,
if you
great.
guys want
John did a great
to
job.
John
do
Micah.
a CD like this, just contact the band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
please
Contact
support them.
I don't know what camera I'm looking
Thank you.
them. Camera's a camera. They'll find you.
Yeah. All right. Another question. How did you pick a name for the band?
Well, the name, it really came out of the recording project that me and Bushy did. Since I was a kid, people have always called me Jack Lynx. That was kind of my stage name when I was young. I still kind of go by it, you know, for the most part. So Lynx was always kind of part of me. Bunch of bands that Sean's been in have had Shadow written right in them, you know, Shadow Sanctuary, From the Shadows. So it just kind of made sense to merge the Shadow and the Lynx together and make, you know, just because at the time it was just a recording project. We just needed a name for a recording project. So we called it Shadowlynx and said, okay, that works. And then we formed the band. We're like, well, are we going to rename the band? I was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, I guess Shadowlynx it is. And these guys didn't think it sucked. So
That's cool.
I was like, all right.
Sounds
It is a
cool.
good band name, so.
Right,
Thank
awesome.
you.
It's unique.
There's a lot of people that used Shadowlynx for surnames and things like that for video games and everything all over the internet and everything. And I did a major search. Nobody picked the band.
Well,
So-
thank God, because we already picked it.
Yeah, we grabbed it, and you know,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Cool.
You know,
All right. What equipment do you use for a live set?
Live set. Keith, you want to start with that one?
Oh, geez. I use a JSX head. It's a Joe Satriani model through a Line 6 4x12 slant cab. And I mainly use a Ibanez S model guitar. And as a backup, I use an Ibanez RG 97 model that I kind of revamped myself.
Yeah.
And what else do I use? I use a distortion pedal, wah pedal, and a tuner, and a delay pedal, Zach Wild model delay pedal. That's my main gear.
Sweet.
Cool.
I play PRS basses, and then as far as a rig, it's a Line 6 Lowdown 400, but I have two of those if the stage is big enough, and then I'll run those through four 15-inch speakers. They're Behringer cabinets, but I loaded them with Seismic Audio 500-watt RMS per speaker, and I've got four of them, so they really bring the rumble to the stage. It's a nice setup, but I don't
Awesome.
run any pedals or some effects are built into the head, just some compression. Turn the gain up just to give it a little bit of growl, and just let it rip.
Jack, what about you? Oh, I'm the drummer. So Jack, what about you?
All right, well, for me, the two guitars I primarily use live. I have a Dean MAB1, so that's Michelangelo Matteo. And then I also use an ESP, I think it's 401, something like that. It's a pretty cool ESP my wife bought me. For my rig, I use Marshall 9100 for the head. I've got a Voodoo valve for my effects, and then just a standard Marshall 1960 cab. And well, I also play keys. I couldn't even tell you what I use for a keyboard. I think it might be a Korg. I don't know. I use what I
Yamaha,
think sounds
some
good.
kind of Yamaha, I think.
It might be a Yamaha. Yeah, I'm more of a guitarist than a keyboardist, but when I play keys, you know, if I find something that sounds good, here you go.
what kind of drums
Does a
do you
good
play?
job.
Thomas.
Tama?
Tama Kit,
Tom McKitt.
man of many words.
Yeah.
Are they both Tama kits?
Nope.
Symbols?
Yeah.
And Jack
Not
has
even-
a sick sonar kit at his house. It's absolutely beautiful. Rack system, beautiful toms, and the symbols, everything's just absolutely top notch on that kit.
What do you got, Zildjian?
They're actually sonar kids.
Are they?
Yeah, they're sonar.
Wow.
With Zildjian and a couple of Sabians too.
Cool.
Beautiful kids.
All
I
right.
don't know what the mics are. What are they? BBs?
Well, in the studio, we've got everything from SM58s to whatever
what are-
John's using.
what's
He uses
the-
all special stuff.
Yeah, what's
I use
the,
a Sennheiser.
Yeah, Sennheiser. is
Sennheiser
what he
mic,
uses.
yeah.
When we recorded the CD, we used a Rode NT2A for a lot of the vocals, and then an MXL Gold. I'm not sure if it's a Gold 50 or what it is, but it was designed by a R&B producer, and it's a big, gigantic mic, and the whole thing is gold, but it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's funny to look at. You see it, and it's looks like a big brick of gold, and you think, oh, what kind of mic is this? But it's a really fantastic mic.
Right.
What did you use for vocal effects offhand?
Oh,
Just, I mean, you know,
a lot of the Waves plugins, a lot of the built ones, the stock ones that come built in with Sonar Platinum. But yeah, the Waves plugins, absolutely top notch. Awesome.
I do want to add that, if I may, a lot of the vocal tracks on that CD,
Yeah.
some of them were one take.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them one take. You know, you
Yep.
get your stuff down.
Some of them, not all, but some of them.
All right. All right. I have this one for you guys. For a younger audience, how can you explain the feelings of playing a live set in front of fans?
Who wants to take it?
There's nothing else like it.
Yeah, being on stage for live
Great.
fans it's really different than really anything else you do. I guess if you were a sports fan and it's a younger audience that are not musicians, if you think of whatever your favorite sport is and you're the hero of the game, whether you just hit the game-winning home run or you just scored the game-winning touchdown, that moment when everyone cheers for you is just like being on stage and having them cheer for the songs that you play. You look down and see somebody singing the songs that you helped produce and write and record. There's nothing like that, seeing a crowd actually enjoy something that you've created. And I think for someone that's not a musician, the only other experience is really when if you have anything else in your life that gets applauded, and there's not a lot of things out there that do that, and that's why music is so important to those of us who play it, because the feeling you get when you're up there is really unlike anything else.
You mentioned a younger audience for advice.
Yeah.
You talking about like an audience that has not played out yet, possibly?
Yeah, something like that, or if they want to start learning playing and stuff like that.
I would say as far as live, learning to play one thing, and the other thing, as far as live, be prepared. Take the extra time. Say you got 4 songs. Take the 6 months. Do it. Do it and do it right. Because once you get out there and you do it right, they're going to recognize you're doing it right. That's when it grows. And like he said, that's when the people start singing along with your stuff and start recognizing certain parts of the song. I don't know how to say his name, but a shout out to Sam.
Yes, Sam Raminjat.
Yep. And that's from India.
No, he's from Iraq.
Oh, he's from Iran.
Yes.
So,
And I guess another thing for the younger crowd or people that are just learning and want to know what it's like up on stage is you're going to be nervous your first few shows, your first bunch of shows. Just work your way through it. Work your way through it. It's always nerve-wracking to be up there for the first few times. Once you get used to it, it's nothing but fun.
he never gets used to it.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Our first show together with Shadowlynx, I hadn't broken a string in years. Our first show together, our second song, I broke a string.
Wow.
I just grabbed my backup guitar and made something,
Right.
Nothing happened,
Sometimes your amp's
You know,
not going to turn
yes,
on,
yeah.
You know, things
A
are gonna
connection goes loose or a battery dies while you're playing, you know, but you just act like it's normal or, you know, hit a wrong note, you just keep playing.
Right.
Don't stop. don't
Stumble, fall off the
Yeah,
stage.
don't stop. Yeah, yeah,
give- yeah, there's advice when you're gonna stage. Make sure somebody's catching you.
You know, sometimes your knees buckle, you know, and you fall and get
Know
up
your
and
body.
act like it was part of the show.
right, absolutely.
And if the mic cuts out on you, or if your voice cuts out on you, go like this.
Just keep going.
It's
Don't
all
let anything
fun,
be
you know.
discouraging.
Everybody's
That's all.
having fun.
No.
That's why they're there.
One funny thing that actually happened to me many years ago, which some people would totally neither run off the stage and hide or whatever if this happened to them. But what I ended up doing is the first mic went out, and notice I said the first mic. The first mic went out, the second mic went out, the third mic went out. Now I'm holding all three of these microphones. I did this many, many years ago. And I have a crowd of younger people there to see me and hear these songs. And I believe the song at the time was Hellfire. And I ended up pulling them all back like this, away from me, and singing to them. So the point is as these guys know and we all learned, is once you have a live performance, expect the unexpected, because it's never perfect, ever. And like Keith said, and I back this up 110%, make the best of it. Just make the best of it. Look, what we do sometimes is we feel that the show's a little weird, the sound's weird, the monitor went out or whatever it was. We look at each other as if we were like at practice. Like, these guys are gonna give me the energy to get through this. You know, we just did a show not too long ago. I was sick. I was very sick. Matter of fact, there was about 3 different octaves I couldn't use. Luckily, I had a high. my soprano was there, and some of my lower vibrato was there. That was it. And the second song, I didn't know, nobody noticed. But the second song, I apologized, and I deeply apologized. And we had people come up to us. We were sitting down at the bar and stuff. Actually, they bought CDs, but we were sitting down and they came up to us. They enjoyed the show. They never saw us before. So that's just something that you got to realize. And now I learned, if that situation happens again, I'm not feeling well, blah, blah, and I pull through it and power through it, I gave it my all. There was no reason to apologize. I guess that's
We all got your back. Everyone here, that's
Exactly.
one thing. If you communicate on stage, if someone makes a mistake, if someone's struggling with their gear, everyone else is going to help pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
We're going to help each other make sure that, you know, no one's noticing the struggle you're having.
Sure.
You know, if Bushy is ever struggling on stage with his vocal, the rest of us will pick up the pieces.
Absolutely.
You know, he knows to put the mic out to the crowd. Let them take over. We'll do all the backups. They never know the difference. You know, if I'm struggling with my gear, I know Keith is going to turn up a little bit, take care of things, and make sure that no one notices me. They just think, oh, there's no guitar during this part. You know, we all got each other's back. That's being friends.
That's true. That's true. If there's a note or
that
something.
happens to me. To me also.
Well, if there's a note that's missed or a symbol or something or a part that was, you know, just off because you couldn't hear his monitor or whatever, I'll hold the note a little longer or something to that effect. The crowd is still hungry. They're still wanting the dynamics of the band. So that's just, you know, that's just what it's going to do.
It's not like practice. You can't stop and say,
Right.
let's do that take again, let me turn up, you know, or I can't hear you on that part. You know, it's like you only have one take to do it, you know what I mean? And you got to make the best of that song, you know.
And have fun while you're doing it.
exactly.
Right.
No.
Don't,
Exactly.
don't
The
take it
lighting
so
not be
serious,
might be
yeah.
right, you know. All of a sudden, you know, I look down, I can't see because the lighting's weird. I'm like, it's not like what is it practice, you know what I mean? So, but you make the best of it. I'll run over to Jack, and, you know, and
Yeah. Have a good time. you
yeah,
know.
have fun. I'll just jam out with John.
Right. I
Look
think
at
what
Christian
John's saying
laugh.
too, John mentioned having fun. And in a band, you're not there just to go up there and play. You're there to have fun. You're there to entertain a crowd. Well, entertaining each other too. You're having a good time. And you'll find that if you're entertaining and having fun, the crowd will have fun too. You don't have to be the best band. You don't have to hit every note. But if you're entertaining the crowd, if you make a mistake, they don't notice. They don't care. They're having a good time. So if you're just joining a band, have a good time.
the most fun practicing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun
Practicing,
practicing.
yeah,
Yes,
live.
we
Yeah.
do.
We just lay it all out there every time we practice.
Right. That way you're ready for the stage. Have fun
And
too.
if somebody, isn't up to par, and, whatever, just next practice, somebody else isn't up to par. So, next practice, somebody else isn't.
Somebody steps up.
Always somebody steps up.
Right.
And this is a
Kinda how
long-term
it is.
project for us. I mean, this is, this isn't something where, a project where you're gonna get together and then go on tour and do 10 shows and then you're not gonna see these guys again for another year or so. We're all local, we all. The Black Album. No.
We're in it for the
No,
long
I'm just
haul.
saying that we are in this, yeah, absolutely, for the long haul. These are friends as well as bandmates.
All right. Well, that's it for questions anyways. You want to give the information, how they get on your Facebook, stuff like that?
Sean, that's all you, man. You're the marketing genius.
Okay, obviously, yeah, Facebook, Shadowlynx Band.
Shadowlynxband.com.
Yeah, shadowlynxband.com. Right.
And Reverb Nation,
Shadowlynx.
Shadowlynx,
Yeah.
Reverb Nation.
Twitter.
We're gonna go on and on. Twitter, Shadowlynx Band, I think is on that one too.
Shadowlynx Band for Twitter, yes.
And so,
And can we give a shout out to our record company?
Sure, you can.
All right, well, I'd just like to say, give a big thanks to Alone Records out of Greece for taking a chance
Thank
on
you.
us. And we did our best to deliver them a product that was up to their standards. And there's some heavy names, some big hitters on that label, and they took a chance to work with us, and we really appreciate it.
Yes, we did.
yes,
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
thank you, Emmanuel and Alone Records.
Yes.
Seriously, they made leaps and bounds for us, and this might sound like a funny thing, but it's true. Every week, I'll Google Shadowlynx Band or Shadowlynx reviews, worldwide or whatever. I found them Germany. I found them from Spain. I found them from Sweden. Things we didn't even know. Poland, yeah. Oh yeah.
Alone
it-
Records got us out there.
Yep. And it started with Alone Records, which is just a few names of Alone Records they're representing is Ripper, Tim Ripper Owens, Metal Church, Nevermore, and I believe they released as a distribution deal of Iron Maiden on vinyl. So there's some heavy hitters.
We're proud to be up there along those names. Even,
Absolutely.
Okay.
just to be listed with that.
Well, I'd say that's it for this episode.
Thank you.
And
Definitely, thank you for having
Thanks.
us on.
to Shadowlynx for coming on
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul's.
and support your local music scene. And make sure you grab a copy of the CD here.
You can contact.
Shadowlynx, they'll find us online.
Yeah.
They'll go to Matrix.
Yeah.
I'll get back.
Any one of the websites
Well,
you can.
Thanks for watching Local Rock Talk and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Until then, see you next time.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for watching Local Rock Talk with your host, Paul Zabrile. Until next time, keep on rocking.